Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell me where you're tuning in from. How are all of you? You're going to see me make a really fake face really quick on Facebook while I turn my Facebook camera on. And then we're going to get right into this. This is going to be great today, you guys. Okay, quick fake face. Okay, you got to wait for Facebook to take that still shot. And if you don't pose, you're just totally messed up. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are all of you tonight? Let's clear this energy. I've got some amethyst clearing essential oil spray. We do sell this in our new Etsy shop, the Detox Intuitive on Etsy, right? Those of you who are new, do me a favor, toss this video a thumbs up or a heart and tell me where you are tuning in from in the comments section below. I sound like a newscaster. Thank you. I should have been one. So let's make sure I'm not all distorted on Facebook. Real quick, sometimes it does that. So let's see here. Okay, we are looking good. Tell me where you are tuning in from. Toss this video a thumbs up. And let me know that you can hear me. Okay, Veronica, where are you tuning in from? Dimitri, where are you tuning in from? Okay, you guys, so I'm going to do a little story time today, but I'm also going to do a reading. But I want to tell you something that happened last week. And a lot of you might think this is funny. I did not think it was funny when I was going through it. So quick introduction. I am Andrea Cox, Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox on Facebook and on TikTok. Raw Chef Andrea on Instagram. Andrea Cox TV for my health and wellness channel on YouTube. For my spiritual channel, we just went over 2 million views. It is The Detox Intuitive. I am the author of 3 plant-based books. The most recent, which has done really good in Barnes & Noble online, is called Eat Right for Your Zodiac, where we combine astrology and plant-based eating to help guide you along your path. I've got an oracle deck that we are printing up with a shadow work workbook called The Lessons of the Mystical Muse. I love how everybody decides to message me on here as soon as I go live. And that is being printed up. I'm really excited about it. It is a 63 card oracle deck. The Shadow Work workbook is a full-size workbook that you can write in. I'm really proud of it. I've spent over a year working with Ekaterina, my soul sister, my blood relative, my guiding light in Canada, and she has put up with all my crap this past year. So I'll be announcing more about her later, but I want to share with you a little story of what happened to me last week. Hang on one sec. Looks like I need to, okay, cracking my kneecaps in between there. So last week, I came home from a great workout, and my dog Maverick nudged me, and it was 2 a.m. and I had a half sweatshirt on, no bottoms. I was asleep on the couch, right? I live kind of far out, nobody's around, you know, and I didn't think anything of it. I let my dog out at 2 a.m. all the time. I do live in the Sonora Desert, which is home of bobcats, mountain lions, rattlesnakes, venomous frogs, Gila monster, poisonous lizards, javelinas, lots of coyotes. And so I try not to let the dogs out at night. I try to get them out in the middle of the day. Wow, hunger. We have a coyote right there. That's significant. So my dog had a hunger to use the bathroom, and I let him out. And I walked out with him because you have to accompany your animals here because there are wild animals everywhere. And although the yard is gated, animals can get in and out. I've had a bobcat on the roof, etc. So I shut the door behind me, and mind you, I've just got a shirt on, and realized that I had locked myself out at 2 a.m. with no bottoms on in the middle of the Sonora Desert with no cell phone and no one in the house except my other little dog, Lewis, my 24-year-old dog. So it was quite cold. All I have on is a long sleeve, half cut off sweatshirt, and I had a come to Jesus moment. I was like, how on God's green earth did I end up in the middle of the desert at 2 a.m., locked out of my home without anyone inside and no cell phone? And a few things go through your mind as you're going through that. So I had a heavy weight outside because I lift weights, even though you can't tell because I'm super skinny. The first thing that crossed my mind is to break the double kind of paned glass door with one of those weights. And I was trying to figure out in my mind, okay, how much is that going to cost me? It's going to probably be about $2,000. And then the second thing that crossed my mind is, okay, you're actually living your biggest fear. You created this nightmare in your mind. And it goes hand in hand about manifestation. So I am a manifesting generator. That is the most powerful manifester out of all the, in the gene keys. That is the one that literally can create the reality with their mind, with their visualization. So I realized that since I moved in here, and I remember even joking with a family member saying, you could not pay me $1 million to spend the night out in the yard, even in a tent. Because of all the wildlife, it's just too scary. I realized I had literally manifested my biggest nightmare happening. And so I was sitting out there, and I have a trampoline that I don't use anymore because it's not a bungee, and I like bungee trampolines, and I broke my bungee trampoline. So I was sitting out there, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to just wait for it to get light out, and then I'm going to call out for help. So I'm out there, and I'm hunkered down on top of my dog Maverick to keep him safe on this rebounder, and we hear a pack of coyotes probably 25 feet away killing a bunny or something, right? We're like, okay, I'm hearing this. So my dog is shaking from fear. So what do? It had been about an hour and a half already, and I'm shivering. I start calling out for help, just randomly, like, help me. Like, and I'm thinking, this is just ridiculous. Like, get a lot, like, you're gonna get a boyfriend, you're gonna solve this. This is never gonna happen again. So I'm calling out for help. And about 4 hours after I was out there, I should have broke the window, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, and here's why. About 4 hours after being out there, around 4:35 a.m., I hear this, Miss, where are you at? And it was the police. A neighbor had heard me. The houses are all on like an acre apiece. They're kind of spread out. My big mouth. Someone had finally heard me and called the police. And they were in my driveway. I was like, I'm up here, but I don't have any bottoms on. So what I did was I took my trampoline and I flipped it up, and I kind of held it as a shield in front of my lower half. And they were kind enough to kind of take a little profile of the property and climb in a side window that, thank God, the gal that cleans for me had left open. And as he climbed through the window, God, let me clear this energy. I'm going somewhere with this, you guys. As he climbed through the window and he came through the house and opened the door, and he had grabbed a blanket off my bed, and I wrapped myself around it. And he had to get my information and run my information to make sure there was no warrants or anything. I was so embarrassed, right? I had 2 cops no bottoms on. Like I locked myself out of the house that I'd lived. It was embarrassing, right? But when I was outside, I had a real come to Jesus moment about manifestation and how being a manifesting generator, that's such a powerful thing. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. Continue telling me where you're tuning in from. New York, welcome. On Facebook, New York, welcome. Kentucky, welcome my girlfriend. So I was out there and I was thinking, wow, we can actually manifest bad shit just as much as we can manifest great things, right? Our mind is a very powerful tool. So I realized in that moment, okay, you're out here, your biggest nightmare is actually, it just came true. You said you wouldn't accept $1 million to spend a night even in a tent in the backyard by yourself because you're such a San Diego, Ohio spoiled brat. And I was forced to do so. Not only that, without a tent, with my dog, which I think coyotes love, and bare-assed. So I had manifested this into existence. And so before I get into this reading, I want to remind you to use your better judgment when protecting your thoughts, because our thoughts really do create our reality. And I posted something this morning on Instagram, and I want you guys to go give it some love. It's Raw Chef Andre on Instagram. I'm heavily censored over there, but go check it out. And it's about the circles we keep and the things we allow into our mind and what we listen to and what we actually watch, because that's really powerful, folks. If you are not mindful, you can allow anything to infiltrate space, your auric field, your vibration, and your vibration can actually lower. So just like I've taught you for years that the foods we eat, the company we keep, and the energy we hold, and not doing our body movement, not doing things like that can actually lower our vibration and crush our manifestations, so can the thoughts we keep. And this has been the only part of my own life that has been a challenge to master. I have a lot of Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in my chart. That's water, and waters are emotions. I have 3 water trines in my chart and also a fire trine. Very little earth in my chart, which is the groundedness. So I can manifest things in my mind into a reality. And I've shared with you guys so often here that before I moved here, I had just been looking at Adobe homes on Zillow. And then a month later, I moved into an Adobe home. And, and I was thinking, God, my neighbors are annoying. I want a new place that the neighbors don't bother me. And I manifested a great place, this place, where no neighbors bother me. And I love it. I love it. I have nice people all around me. Everything's great. So our thoughts create a reality. Now I want to pull a few cards from 2 decks just to kind of see the energy for the weekend. And we have beauty. And I love this because focusing on our beauty, not just the outside, not just the exterior, not just getting to the gym, not just, skincare regime, 7-10-step skincare regime or whatever, but also actually focusing on our heart, clearing out our heart space, opening our heart to be less in the ego and more about welcoming whatever God has in store for us is vitally important. Hang on, you guys. And I'll do it after. I need to turn the air off. I'm freezing. So this came out in the beginning, hunger. So a lot of you could be meeting someone new. It's good. It's good. Pace it well, right? We don't want to just jump into things because we've talked about this before. People hold an energetic vibrational frequency, and that vibrational frequency can either lower ours or elevate ours. So watch the way you feel around people. Watch your own energetic frequency. If it looks like I'm looking around, it's because I'm looking around at different platforms I'm live on. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. Thank you guys. I love that for this healing journey. Awesome. Okay, so TikTok's we had 800 of you on yesterday. I don't monitor the comments on TikTok, but okay, so let's see what else we have in store for the weekend. So the deck will be coming out by Christmas, so that'll be good. Definitely by the new year. Okay, so the unexpected, 43. So something might shock you this weekend. So some of you have been focusing on your beauty. You're inviting, new people in. You may have been in hermit mode for a while. Something may shock you. Maybe you don't get the feelings that you thought you would get about someone you meet, or maybe you do. Something may shock you. Creation. So others of you are focusing on your manifestations, your creativity, creating things to bring in abundance, which is very powerful. I feel really strong to go towards the card behind it. And we have trust. Okay. So we're healing trust issues this week. So when we heal trust issues, we try to not paint the face, right, of our former abuser or the person that lost our trust or broke our trust onto new people, whether it's in friendship, whether it's in love, whether it's in whatever. We try to not paint the picture of whatever happened to us, which actually happened for us, on whoever's coming into our lives. So that's really important. Okay, someone said, doctors told me I would never walk a day in my life. 2 months later, I walked. 6 months later, 5 months, blah, blah, blah. Good job. Great job. I'm shocked at my eyesight that I can see that far away on TikTok. Okay, so assessing. We have some of you are watching someone from a distance. I don't really recommend, if you're not in a relationship with someone or someone isn't part of your inner circle, I'm really good at teaching my clients, because this is something I've practiced for years, not to look at what other people are doing. Focus on yourself. I have about 7 people on Facebook, about 12, that I look onto. 2 are my friends that I keep in my friends circle, and the rest are family members. And everything else on my feed is blocked out. And then once a month, I'll go and like some of my friends' stuff or what have you. So a lot of times when we get the assessing card, it's kind of like the stalker card. You don't really want to do that, right? It's weird. Okay, so we have surrender in reverse. Okay, some of you can be a life path number 2, a 6, or an 8. So a lot of you don't want to surrender that part. You continue to look back, which takes you away from focusing on the here and now, which is never really good, right? We want to focus on the here and now, the present moment. When we focus on the past, we're depressed. When we focus on the future, we usually have anxiety. So we really want to focus on the present moment and all that brings. One moment, you guys. Just a little adjustment there on Facebook because my head is being cut off because I'm so tall. Okay, so let's pull 3 more cards. You're taking action on something. Some of you are working on your creativity. Others of you are focused on your beauty. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure you focus on the inner beauty. Like we said, some of you are meeting new people. Make sure you don't paint the face of the past. Yeah, so some of you have a lot of fear. That's not good. So we can transmute fear into several things. We can transmute fear when we do our shadow work into creativity. We can transmute fear into our beauty, working on ourselves, working out, taking better care of ourselves, or we can transmute fear into negativity. So the question is, how can we elevate ourselves, right, to make sure fear doesn't get the best of us? So just like I locked myself out with my dog Maverick last week, I walked back in the house later that day. I was exhausted, no sleep the whole night. walked back out and did the same thing a second time, right? So I've fixed the problem now. It won't happen again. But the fact of the matter is, I created that. In my mind, from the moment I moved in, I thought, and you guys have seen how beautiful this space is. I thought, okay, but with all these wild animals, I'm never getting stuck outside. And what I did is I manifested that. So, in order to manifest good things, be mindful of your thoughts, very mindful of your thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality. Very, very, very important, right? I love you guys so much. I'm going to pull an overall animal spirit card because you guys know I've been vegan 24 years. I love the animals. There's a lot of animal spirit cards in my new deck that's coming out, the Lessons of the Mystical Muse. Okay, we have, oh, I have a different deck. I didn't grab the right deck. We have Wise One. Grow within your current situation. So some of you, this woman's very, very old. She has an owl on her shoulder and the moon above her and a hawk right here. Some of you are wise beyond your years, or some of you are taking advice from someone who is wise beyond their years, or they could be older and wise. And you need to trust your gut on whatever you're being told to do or led to do. Some of you are being led to apologize to someone. Maybe it's time you swallow your pride and actually take that step. Some of you are being led to walk more in integrity. Some of you are being led to let go of the past. Some of you are being led to swallow your fear and your pride of what's coming in for you. So it's time to kind of step into that essence of who we were always meant to be. Swallow our pride, put the ego aside. A little bit of ego is healthy because it protects our heart and it protects us. But too much ego will ruin anything good in our life. So if you're being led to apologize to someone, if you're being led to start something new, if you're being led to make amends, if you're being led to start a new project, put the fear aside, swallow the pride, put the ego to rest, and move forward with beauty and grace. I love each and every one of you. Amazon is here, and on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. And listen, taking the weekend off of social media, going to get out in nature. There is a mountain above where I live, and it's all pastel colors this time of year. I might share some photos from there. Do me a favor. If you are following me on TikTok, I have no idea what I'm doing on TikTok. Thanks for the follows. I feel like the grandma of TikTok. Follow me on Facebook, Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox. And if you are on Instagram, follow me on TikTok and Facebook, Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, please subscribe to my 2 YouTube channels, Andrea Cox TV. There are over 1,000 plant-based recipes. And there's videos in the Love Room where I talk about how to deal with your emotions and things of that nature. We have hit over 4 million views. Go subscribe over there. And The Detox Intuitive, my intuitive guidance channel, we've hit over 2 million views. Go subscribe over there. I appreciate each and every one of you. Last but not least, my newsletter, join. We just hit, well, we're almost to 40,000 people. Subscribe to my newsletter at andreacox.com. I love you guys. Be well. Bye. You were so good until the very end.